Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to another Friday night at the Pajama Party. One of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. It's Friday night. How's everybody doing?
Not too bad. How you guys doing?
Everything's good.
Okay. Feeling good, Coach. Feeling good.
All right. What I like to hear.
Whew. What a week it's been.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. You guys ready
Did
to
everybody,
get into this?
Yeah, I was just going to ask, did everybody watch any of the Democratic convention?
Yeah, watched a little bit. I saw the heavy hitters they had talking. So, yep.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about it. All right, Ketel, do your thing.
All right. We got a hot topic tonight. The FBI probing $300 million media company deal linked to Steve Bannon. Also, state of Michigan to pay $600 million to victims of the Flint lead water. And top takeaways from the Democratic National Convention. Hidden and quitted headlines. New York couple arrested for allegedly harassing neighbor. Also, Iowa Teachers Union student district sue governor over schools reopening. Interesting. Also, legal ruling averts Uber and Lyft shutdown in California. States filed a joint lawsuit over changes to post office operations. And New York nurses say used N95 masks are being repacked in boxes to New York. Also, cocktail of the week is the Kiwi NB Fruity Gin Cocktail. What's poppin' with Poppa DD? Our weird news is a German university offering $1,900 grants for doing nothing. Okay, I might have to check that out. Tokyo's latest attraction, transparent public toilets. And also, drive-through haunted house offers socially distant scares. Okay. I'm just saying with Redwine, be careful how you choose. Living for the City with Poppa DD, my Hollywood wrap-up, the kisser list, and the last word. So sit back, relax, get your favorite cocktail, and we'll be back with the hot topic.
Hi, this is Poppa DD. If you haven't heard of the Pajama Party, you're missing out. We got hot topics, hidden quitted headlines, what's poppin' with me, weird news, I'm just saying with Redwine, Living for the City again with me, the Hollywood wrap-up with Ketel, the cocktail of the week, the world's famous kissing list, and of course the last word. We serve it up each week on the Pajama Party Show, and nobody does it like us. You can call us each week live on Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time at 914-803-4306 or listen at www.apajamaparty.com and also follow us on Twitter at apajamaparty.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. One of your hosts, Poppa D. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. We're back. About to jump into these hot topics. Oh, boy. So much happening this week. We're going to start with you, Poppa DD?
Yeah, well, let's start with this boy here, Steve Bannon. I tell you, I'm going to get deeper in this, too, during my segment. But this is an individual thing, but these jokers, they come in groups of
They just come in gangs.
Yeah, they have really. Anyway, Steve Bannon, as everybody knows, that's the guy that one of Trump's first advisors. Big white dude, always like he needs a shave and a haircut. You know, it was a mess. Anyway, he was in a probe, a $300 million media company deal that was linked to Steve Bannon as far as contributions for the wall. You know, now, like I said, it's not even as much mess as they're talking. He's collecting money on the side. I mean, let me read the story because it's all crooked. Steve Bannon, his fraud indictment linked to fundraising for Donald Trump's U.S.-Mexican border wall isn't only a legal headache. The Wall Street Journal reports that the FBI and Securities and Exchange Commissions are also investigating a $3 million investment offer for a planned media company that was tied to Bannon and fugitives, a Chinese businessman also named Gu Wangan. Because when they arrested him, he was on this guy's yacht, which was like a $10 million yacht that they took him off of when he was arrested. And he's hanging out with Chinese. Oh, it's just unbelievable. All right, Bannon was arrested Thursday morning aboard the guy named Guy Woon's luxury yacht, and he was indicted for fraud for allegedly flipping funds from a crowdfunding campaign known as We Build a Wall that raised more than $25 million. Now, this is the money, $25 million from Trump's base. You know, his base is all about Trump now. They're all into the crime, and they're talking about the cities of Chicago that are bad, and everybody's doing their dirt and all this jazz. Ain't nobody doing no more dirt than their asses, really. So the volunteer organization promised that 100% of the donations of hundreds of thousands of contributions will go straight towards building a section that Trump long promised the border wall, which is on the south border, the southern border there, to help protect the United States, so to speak. On Wednesday, the Journal reported that officials were probing the private offerings to raise funds to a company called GTV Media Group. They always put these little bogus names on top of stuff. And Bannon is listed as the director and overseer. And the gentleman, the Chinese gentleman, Guru, is also an advisor of the fundraiser as well. So they just hanging out, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This Chinese rich guy and Bannon got this slush thing where Trump supporters has contributed all this money, up to $25 million already, and they're cruising around on a yacht every day. And it's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing, you know. Like they don't have a care in the world. They ain't got Jobs' address, and they floating around on a multi-billion-dollar yacht. And this is their life, you know. And investigators will examine whether or not GTV Media and Associates and Guru violated security laws. Soon after the investment offering, people began demanding refunds, saying they never received documentation verifying their investments. J.P. Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo have already frozen accounts tied to the money raised in the operation because they were using that account to funnel the money there. And J.P. Morgan and Wells Fargo said, look, they got dirty money in here. We ain't touching that shit no more. We're going to freeze it up, and y'all can fall out and see what's going on with it. So neither Bannon nor the Chinese group responded to requests for any comment to the journalists at all. So a fundraising document reviewed by the Journal said that GTV would be a platform for news, social media, and e-commerce, and would serve as the only uncensored and independent bridge between China and the Western world. So they're all linked together with this, you know. I mean, the whole thing in a nutshell is that Steve Bannon is working with these Chinese people to help funnel this particular situation. He's rolling with them to furnish it. They done built like $25 million already. People haven't been getting their stuff back as far as when you contribute stuff. Most of the time, if it's a charitable thing, people want to get it to get a tax credit for internal revenue. Mm-hmm. So whatever paperwork is due as far as charitable donations, they're not giving that back to people. So the stuff is just going belly up, just like some type of Ponzi scheme, where people are looking for their dividends and they're not coming back at them. So now all of a sudden, it's just looking crazy. Now the FBI came in there. But the sad part about all this is that Steve Bannon, who, even though he got released by the Trump organization, they're still very good friends. Don't get it twisted. He still has his podcast. Matter of fact, the minute he got released out of jail on a $5 million bond, a $5 million bond means that it was $500,000, which is 10% of the bond. So it'd be $500,000 that the bond would be to get him out. Now they drew in $25 million off this thing already. So to have $500,000 from somebody is no money. People have to understand that when you start making real money, you realize what is not money. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like $50,000, $60,000 to a multimillionaire. It's no money.
So he was spending this money for his own personal.
For their own personal use. Well, it was all it was basically laundering. Basically, I mean, in order for you to spend money, you got to make it real. When it comes into some type of institution, you gotta cipher it and pick it out the other way. Just like manure and hay. It's the same thing. But once it goes through the horse's body, it comes out manure on the back end, and you can sell that to help grow your plants. But it goes in the horse's mouth as hay. So the horse's body becomes a manufacturer, more or less. It goes in like a light color. What hay looks like, light color straw, and it comes out smoky brown on the back end, and you can make money on both ends of it. So it's really deep the way you do that. So the whole situation with this here is that, Bannon has got Trump on the side now Trump's going to claim he knows nothing about this, yada, 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 yada. But damn, when you raise $25 million just on donations alone, you got some serious idiots contributing to the cause and nobody's saying anything. But then all of a sudden you get all tripped up on it and they arrest you off a Chinese person who's part of your group. He's an advisor to your group, and y'all riding around on the yacht. And neither one of y'all got Jobs' address. And it's just crazy. And on the back end, I'm sure Trump will pardon him. So what's the point of even holding a trial? Because Trump already got his back already. I mean, it's just
I don't
amazing.
see him doing any real time over this.
He didn't do anything to Stone or anything.
They're just going to go through the
process.
process.
Let me tell you something. When we get down further to my segment of what's popping, I'm going to speak on all 6 of these people that have been pardoned and everything else by Trump. And Bannon now is just one more person in his group of thugs. He got nerve to call people thugs. You know what I mean? And you don't have more thugs in your administration.
Leader of the gang.
You don't have more thugs in your administration. You got nerve to call black folks and say Chicago's all shot up and they're doing this. What about Chicago? What about Detroit? What about Philadelphia? He names all these popular, I'm not going to elaborate on this because this is the hot topic time, but we're going to get deep on how these jokers are using a narrative to talk about stuff that's everyday stuff, the common areas you speak on, the stuff that's on the news all the time. But you ain't talk about them little poor white trash neighborhoods down there in Ohio and West Virginia or trailer parks all over the damn world where people are just as shabby, just as radical, just as crazy, just as ruthless, just as one tooth in their mouth as any other place out there. But we'll get with that later. Anyway, that's the story on that whole situation.
All right. So I'm putting Steve Bannon on the kiss it list.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yep, for sure. I got him, too. Number one. I did do a little research on the yacht. The yacht is worth $28 million. And Steve Bannon's friend is, his name is Wingu. Wingu. Yeah, he's a friend of Bannon's, and he is wanted on charges of fraud, blackmail, and bribery in Beijing. So that's probably why he's on that yacht, probably running.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And like I said,
crazy.
They don't have Jobs' address, and they got money coming in from what Trump is calling his base. And your base is, I personally think that Trump is going to get slaughtered in this election. He's not even going to be able to fight it because the numbers are going to be so low that, I'm hoping for this. But I just feel like some of his own people aren't going to vote for him, because they may be behind the scene acting like they're so dedicated to the cause, but they had enough. And like I said, we'll elaborate on that during other times. We'll get back to our segment. We don't want to go off script. So
okay, all right. Well, we'll keep it moving. Over to you, Ketel. What you got for us?
The state of Michigan is back in the news. Remember the Flint, Michigan water issue?
Right.
They're going to award people within a range of $600 million, finally. So the state of Michigan is expected to pay about $600 million to victims of the Flint water crisis. How long has this been going on?
Years.
According to two people with knowledge, of a major settlement that is set to be announced this week. The money would largely be designated for children in Flint who were poisoned by lead-tainted tap water after officials changed the city's water supply 6 years ago. So setting off a crisis that drew national attention and remains a worry for many residents. Details of the settlement were not released, of course, and lawyers and public officials involved in the case declined to comment, of course. The individual amounts received from the settlement would depend on Flint residents' degree of suffering and damage from drinking the water. The settlement is the culmination of more than 18 months of negotiation, meant to answer a difficult question for the residents of the city battered by catastrophe. What are the victims of Flint water crisis owed? Probably more than $600 million, but, at least it's something, some kind of settlement. So we'll see what's going to happen. Yeah.
Now, I heard a story earlier this week when that story first broke. They said that by the time that money gets divided amongst all the people who would be eligible to get any of it, that people would be roughly looking at about $6,000. Now, people's lives and health have been destroyed.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying 6,000 is nothing, but 6,000 is nothing.
Yeah.
There are children that are still sick as a result of this.
Some of that stuff's probably irreversible, too.
It is. So what do you, some of these parents have doctor's bills that probably are triple, quadruple $6,000.
Yeah.
What are these, what are they supposed to do? Celebrate? They still don't trust the water.
Yeah.
They're still buying bottled water. What are you going to do with $6,000?
The margin of life, where people think that that's kind of sometimes where they think that people, that's all they need kind of thing. It's so sad, like I said earlier, about what is money. When you look at the $25 million that they've collected so far with that scam that they had with that build a wall thing with Steve Bannon, to get somebody out of jail and spend $500,000 on bail, which you will probably get back if you follow all your court dates and all that jazz. But $500,000 is nothing up against $25 million. And now that the $600 million, we're talking about 33 1/3 going to the lawyers, And so that knocks that down to, what does that knock that down to? You know what I mean? Now you cut $600 million up into 3 parts, and you got the final 2/3 of that. And and then whatever special interest groups that was getting into helping to get it, it's just going to be a mess. And it was almost like the thing with the what was that company called where everybody only got like $1.25. Denny's. Remember that Denny's settlement?
Denny's settlement.
Everybody submitted that, and at the end of the day,
that was so bogus.
You got a check in the mail for like $1.25 or something like that. It's just, it's ludicrous. It's really ludicrous, and people know it going in. The lawyers know that going in, and it's just sad.
But they're also saying that the work has not been finished. Some of the repairs on the pipes in Flint remains unfinished. I'm like, okay, it's been 6 long years and y'all still haven't dealt with the situation? That's crazy. And also, last year, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to finish
and
the
also,
article.
Flint was a real suburban area back in the day when the auto business was booming. Flint was a suburbs of Detroit, so to speak. And most of your executives that worked in the General Motors, heyday lived in Flint. I know some people, some descendants of the parents that I worked with a few years back, where their children worked with me, and their fathers had big management hookups in there. White folks, of course, had big stock options with General Motors. and he lived in Flint when he was younger as a suburban child, white suburban child. So Flint has took a big shift from being a suburban town of the multi General Motors plant to now becoming a straight hood joint, you know. So it's just amazing.
I'm starting to wonder, is there an agenda for somebody or some people to take over Flint? Because why would you change a water system that's been working for the longest, and all of a sudden you're going to change it?
But that government did that the governor did that to act like he was saving money. Matter of fact, he had on camera where he was throwing the switch over to that, you know.
Boy.
We had the same thing happen under the George Bush administration a couple of years into his presidency, when he changed over the whole frequency, the radio frequency from analog to digital. So now you can't even watch a baseball game on a little portable TV no more by pulling the antennas up. That's why now the cable companies were big supporters of that situation. Now you can't get nothing unless you got some kind of cable or some type of digital signal. There's no such thing as antennas really doing their thing anymore, and George Bush is responsible for that. He didn't tell nobody he was going over from digital to analog or vice versa. So that's what they did. They switched it over, and all that nasty water came out of that area that wasn't even shook down in Flint, and that water came in with a vengeance. Had all kind of stuff, amoebas and all kind of little one-cell plants and everything. It's amazing. Anyway.
Yep. We'll continue to watch it, see what's going to happen. Yeah.
I mean, anywhere else, that would have been called murder or some variation thereof.
Yeah, because of a little destitute town like that, they kind of got away with it, you know. But they were calling for the governor's job and everything, and he made a major mistake, but it wasn't his family. In fact, somebody was saying, "Won't you drink the water?" kind of thing to him. I think I saw somebody approaching him with that, with a glass of water from Flint, and he was kind of like, "Get it out of my face," kind of thing. So it was
yeah,
great.
He's like, "Get that poison away from me."
But
it's supposedly good enough for him. Yeah, exactly.
But I was going to add that the Attorney General, Dana Nessel, she announced that the office was dropping pending criminal cases against the government officials. Now, come on now. Y'all the one that has something to do with it. Who's going to be to blame for it?
Yeah.
They were implemented. Yeah, I guess so. So they're going to continue to investigate. Give me a.
But they're all friends, you know. They all know each other. They're all friends.
Yeah.
They all know each other. Everybody up in that little circle, as the city comptroller and the governor and the district attorney and all, they all know each other.
They all in cahoots.
They know each other. Bob, Karen, Joyce, Dolores, Teresa, Frank. You know.
Well, why would they drop the charges? I mean, they're just saying, okay, well, we're just going to just call it a wash.
Because that's their friends.
Nobody just called.
He just answered your question, Redwine. Because they're all friends, just like Donald Trump's friends. He's helping them. So it is what it is. So.
All right. You know what? Ever since Trump said that statement, it is what it is, now whenever I hear it, it irritates me. I don't know if y'all caught that when one of the reporters asked him, was questioning him about the coronavirus death and the whole situation with coronavirus, and I'm paraphrasing. Trump was basically saying, I mean, yes, you know, people died and people are going to die. It is what it is. And I'm like, what? How can you speak so cavalier about people dying on a large scale like this? Over 170,000 people in this country have died, and you're sitting there shrugging your shoulders saying, well, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, people are going to die. It is what it is. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, he's special.
You are a real bastard. And ever since that time, when I saw that, what was that, a few days ago or a week ago, whenever I hear that phrase now, it makes me cringe. Anyway, moving on. I'm sorry, was that all on the Flint story, Ketel?
Yes, that was it, yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to shift gears and talk about the top takeaways from the Democratic National Convention. I don't know if everybody got a chance to see some of it. it was interesting because, of course, the whole thing had to be done virtually, and using all the different forms of technology. A lot of pieces were edited and dropped in. Some of them were live feeds, I assume. Don't know for sure. But, all in all, visually, it wasn't too bad. The issue that I had with it is that some of the speakers, I'm trying to be polite about it, but some of the speakers were very robotic. And I don't know if they were just uncomfortable with being, recorded or speaking that way, or if they were just unaccustomed to doing this, or if they were nervous. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at quite a few of them, and I felt like somebody needs to just shake you. You need to go, I don't know, have a glass of wine or something, relax. Because they were up there just reading. You could tell they were literally just reading from a teleprompter. And I'm like, you know what? If that's all you were going to do, if you were going to be that stiff, I would rather you have had your notes in front of you and keep glancing down at your paper. Because at least then you look more human. But to just stand there and stare into that teleprompter and sound monotone and just read the words, it was kind of crazy. I mean, I understood that they had to go that route, but geez Louise. Some of those people, it was kind of painful.
It was that bad.
Some of them.
Oh, yeah.
And I will say, on the last night, they had different celebrities doing like the role of the MC. Gosh, her name just went right out of my head. Tracee Ellis Ross. She did a good job.
Kerry Washington.
Kerry Washington was excellent. But that mess on the last night that Louise, what's her name, Dreyfus?
I didn't see it that night.
What's that woman's name?
Yeah, that's it.
The woman from Jerry Seinfeld.
Well, Dreyfus is her last name. I don't know what her first name is. Right?
Yeah, that Dreyfus woman. What's her name? Julia Louise Dreyfus. She was horrendous.
But wasn't she a Republican at one time?
I don't know. I do not know her political affiliation now or then, but I know she was horrible. She was trying to make jokes that fell so flat. Saying things like, some numbers she mentioned, and she said, and that's better than Trump's golf score. But when you have an empty room and no audience, those kind of jokes just don't work.
Yeah, it's hard to really get.
She would have done better to just be the MC, introduce who's coming up next, and keep it moving. But those little stupid jokes that she was telling, it was crazy. I kept feeling like, girl, just stop. Just stop.
Save yourself.
Save yourself. It's not working. But anyway, so some of the main takeaways were, of course, the Democrats' big message were they wanted you to know that Biden cares about you and Trump does not. So they kept driving that message, and it seemed like that was kind of coming across all 4 nights. The other message was connecting through grief. Biden did go into, and a lot of other speakers did talk about the loss that he had suffered from his first wife and his daughter in the accident that happened in 1972, and then his son who died of cancer in 2015. And they were basically saying that he's such a compassionate, caring man. He can connect with your pain and connected all that to coronavirus and people losing loved ones. And basically they're saying that he relates to your pain because he's been there. So that message got across pretty good. Interesting, with the Obamas being involved, I kind of think they kind of, to a degree, stole the show as far as the messaging. There were a lot of different people who spoke, but Michelle Obama hit it out of the park, in my opinion. And President Obama tore the joint down. He got out there, said what he had to say, and basically was telling people, like, look, they kept saying that this is about the soul of the country. We're fighting for the soul of America. So, I mean, they didn't say it this way, but that message to me sounds like Don't let the devil steal the country. We are fighting for the soul of America. The other thing is that Joe Biden made a point of saying that Kamala Harris has the baton now. He was making a point of saying that she's the next generation. We got to do what we got to do to bridge that gap, because obviously he's up in age. So the Democrats are making that move to kind of say, all right, let's start getting ready to prep the next group, the next batch coming through. And it was interesting to see some Republicans who said, Joe, we got you. We're behind you. You had some Republicans up in there, like the former governor from Ohio, John Kasich. Is that how you say his name, Kasich? And Colin Powell, who spoke very strongly on Joe Biden's behalf. And then you had Michael Bloomberg. That was interesting. But Bloomberg was like basically saying, Trump's got to go. Everybody, Republican, independent, whatever you call yourself, you need to vote for Biden because this dude has got to go. So they also had this whole thing where all the people who ran against Joe Biden were singing his praises. And they did a little thing like, what do you remember most about Joe Biden? So they kept it kind of light, and it was kind of entertaining. It's kind of weird, but kind of entertaining because remember when they campaigned against him, they were going in hard about all of his deficiencies, and now they were all together saying he's the one, he's the man. Yes, he's compassionate. He knows what he's doing, yada, yada. So they were all doing the cheerleader thing. There was some criticism about the lack of Latino representation because I think there were only one or two. There were two Latinos who ended up speaking, and some of the people who call themselves progressives were complaining that Julian Castro didn't get up and speak. He's a very compelling speaker, but according to sources, he was invited by the committee, and he declined.
Exactly. You don't know the real story.
So I'm like, y'all need to chill. You complaining about something. Sources say Julian Castro said, thank you, but no thank you. So, of course, there were some statements about missed opportunities in terms of the way that they did this all through on television with all the live feeds and Zoom and all of that. There wasn't any of the follow-up. Like, you didn't have people doing the smaller groups, caucusing, getting on the phones, and doing that grassroots reaching out to people. So there were some people who were complaining about that, saying that you've got some people that really have that capability that weren't utilized. People like AOC and Cory Booker and some of the other folks who have a lot of fire.
Yeah, but you ain't got to bring all the stock out. If you know they're in your wheelhouse, you ain't got to really reveal them all like that. You ain't got to put them all out like that. And plus, during this time frame, we need to keep some ace in the holes and hide from people and keep don't let the right hand know what the left hand's doing kind of thing. Keep it on the low. Cause if they're going to be supportive, then let them be and don't let everybody know what we got. Because Trump's the kind of person that's going to scan the whole room. And if they're not in the room for him to scan, then he can get away with it, They can get away with it. Because I'm just waiting.
Go ahead.
I'm just waiting for that debate between Kamala and Pence.
Oh,
Man,
that's going to be good.
I done broke my ticket already for that pay-per-view. I can't wait to see that.
That's going to be drooling good.
That's going to be some Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali stuff right there, boy.
Well, let me just wrap this up so we can move on. So overall, most people felt like the reason why this worked so well is because they incorporated a lot of real people. It wasn't a bunch of talking heads and the mayor of this and governor of that. They incorporated a lot of real people from just, average places, people who you've never heard of and all that kind of stuff. They had the young man who had the stuttering problem who was saying how Joe Biden really helped him when he found out that Biden used to be a stutterer and he'd met Biden, so that was a big thing on the fourth night. You had some use of celebrities. I don't know if you saw the whole thing with Steph Curry and his wife and the kids, they were on for a little while. That was cute. Billie Eilish, she did a beautiful song. That was really good, yeah.
Yeah, she sounded.
That was good. And then the Dominican-American singer, Prince Royce, he did Stand By Me, like walking through the streets. That was really good. So they had a lot of good things. I just wish Julia Louis-Dreyfus wasn't part of it. But.
Oh boy, you being discriminatory? Why? What's up?
Hey, she was like, man. I don't know. I just felt like I just kept feeling like during the commercial break, somebody needed to tell her, "Hey, ixnay with the Oaks, Jay." Let that go.
Yeah, well, she was, because she wants to continue to always project that, like, I'm just doing this to say relative stuff, That's all they do. These different people, actors come out, and they just want to get a gig, and they want to stay relative in Hollywood, and they just put themselves out there. But them people on the fence, you can't trust them, you know what I mean? You can't. This is why Trump won last time, because the people that you thought voted for Hillary was voting for him, and I commend Biden for picking Kamala like that, for finally picking somebody real. Because I think about back in the day when that boy Dukakis didn't pick Jesse Jackson as his running mate. Jesse had just freed that guy, that black guy that had the parachute behind the hostage, the black pilot that had the parachute behind enemy lines, and Jesse Jackson went and got him, and Jesse Jackson was very prominent, and Dukakis at the last minute flaked out and picked that other Jewish guy, and they got slaughtered. They got beat down like a back alley, somebody taking your damn watch and ring. It was crazy. They just got violated. Because a lot of people at the last minute, it's so sad that, I'm not talking about all white folks. Let me throw a disclaimer out there when I talk about white people, Let me just say not all white folks at all. But, some of them, man, they'll throw all that crap out there, but at the last minute, they want to stay on the right side of white, and they will go with whatever they think is popular or whatever's going to continue to make them look good instead of just being and saying how they feel. That's the biggest thing about race relations today, and that's the reason why it's the way it is, because how people really feel. I personally think that if racism wasn't a prominent thing in the world today or ever, there would be mixed. There would be interracial relationships all over the place. Because people would just choose who they wanted to choose. It wouldn't even be Sometimes people don't choose or don't react because of the environment or the situation, or they don't want to be caught up in no crap, or they don't want to make that move because they think they don't know about the rejection. Or I'm telling you, it's just a mess anymore today. Everybody's just. I can't even explain it. We just need to move on. I'm just going.
I know you're getting aggravated now.
Yeah, and I haven't had anything to drink. I'm pissed off with all this
Well,
stuff.
on that note, we're going to take a quick break, and we're coming back on the other side with the Hit It and Quit It headlines on the Pajama Party Show. You're listening to it live. We'll be right back.
I am Ketel from the original Pajama Party. If you haven't heard Pajama Party Show, you've missed out. We've got hot topics, Hit It and Quit It headlines, What's Poppin' with Poppa DD, our weird news, I'm Just Saying with Redwine, Living for the City with Poppa DD, my Hollywood wrap-up, of course, the cocktail of the week, and the world-famous Ketel list. And, of course, we can't forget the last word. We serve it up each week on the Pajama Party Show, and nobody does it like us. You can call us each week live on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, 914-803-4306, or listen live at www.apajamaparty.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at apajamaparty.
Welcome back to the Pajama Party. One host Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. Woo!
Hey, I'm jamming off the music.
Yeah, I was too. Oh, it's time for the hit it, quit it. That's what we're going to do, right? Right, Ketel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
All right, I got a juicy one here. This is interesting. It doesn't surprise me, though. A New York couple arrested for allegedly harassing their neighbor for 3 years back and forth. 2 Long Island residents were arrested and charged on Monday for allegedly harassing and tampering with their neighbor's property following a 3-year back and forth between the 2 households. The neighbors pleads for help on social media. Now, she put this out on social media. It gained the attention of sympathizers nationwide, including a high-profile civil rights attorney, Jennifer McLagan, a black nurse who lives in Valley Stream, New York. And it's crazy. You familiar with Valley Stream?
Yeah, that's not even really that deep in Long Island. That's like on the edge. It's
that's
not
on
even
the
that.
fringes.
Yeah, that's on the fringe. That's not
okay.
even all up into like Massapequa Park, or you remember that movie, The Amityville Horrors?
Yeah.
Right.
Now that's deep into Long Island. But anyway,
Wow. Okay.
yeah, Valley Stream is around the edge.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Also, the neighbors tried to intimidate her with repeated patterns of harassment, including smearing feces on her property and shooting their pellet gun at her and her child. Come on now. You crazy?
What?
Yeah, crazy. So she's found dead animals, human and dog feces, and trash on her property. So the 2 people that have been harassing this black woman, they're white. They were charged with harassment and criminal mischief for allegedly shooting pellet guns in his backyard, often in the direction and across McLagan's backyard between April 2017 and July 2020. That's a long time to be harassing somebody.
Yeah.
Please put them on the kisser list.
Right. So it was Mindy Kanarick. She's 53, who's white, was charged with criminal tampering for allegedly leaving what appeared to be feces in front of McLagan's home on the front porch. So her name is Mindy, and the other guy's name is John. So put them on the kisser list for harassing this neighbor for this long.
That's insane.
Right. So it goes on to say, police have previously only acknowledged an investigation was underway, but would not confirm details on the incident. Authorities said in July there have been at least 45 calls to police between McLagan and the couple. So I hate that. The police is like, well, they haven't really physically done anything to you to harm you for them to do anything. That's what pisses me off. Oh, we can't do anything.
Doing stuff, well, wait a minute. If they were shooting pellet guns at her and her child and putting feces on your property, isn't that still destruction of property or some kind of mischief? Or how is that not doing anything to you?
No, I'm saying that's what the police is always saying. You have to physically do something to that person before they do anything. You see, they make these numerous calls and stuff, and police still haven't done anything. But now they're going to investigate now. So she had to put a plea out on social media. I saw her. It was a picture. She put a sign on her front door pleading to get some help. So apparently somebody saw that and put that on social media, and it went viral. And that's when this lawyer, civil rights lawyer, contacted her. So,
do they have any cameras out there or anything?
No, they don't mention anything about any cameras.
Yeah,
I guess
you get a
her word against theirs. I guess that's what they.
You get a Ring doorbell or ADT doorbell or a Ring doorbell, because that stuff is activated. All you got to do is go up to that doorbell and just clap your hands, like clap, clap, clap,
right.
And that doorbell will go whoop. It'll kick in. It'll kick in for real.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, for 3 years, so they're going to do something. Yep. All this stuff going on with this racist stuff, and these neighbors are doing this crazy stuff. They don't want none. They don't want the NAACP to come down there and jack them up.
Yeah, it sounds like they do.
Yeah. But we'll continue to follow the story. I'm interested to see what's going to happen to these neighbors. If nothing happens to me, I might pack up and leave.
Like I said, Valley Stream is really not that deep into Long Island. It's not. It really isn't. You know, because Valley Stream, Long Island Railroad Station that's kind of the hub of people going. You know, you got Jamaica. You know, you're in Jamaica, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica is like the beginning of coming out of New York and really going up into the Long Island area. And the first stop after Jamaica is major stop is Valley Stream. And Valley Stream is where you can pick up other trains to go other places. You get on one to go straight and go this way, one that goes to the right will go take you into what they call the Babylon line, and the other one is the Massapequa Park line, which goes deep into Long Island, all down in a place called Islip and Forest Hills and all that. I used to hang up that way.
I've been to Jamaica, New York. We went
that's
up there
all
shopping.
On the edge. That's on the edge of New York. That's not even Long Island's when you really get deep up there, like Babylon and places like that. You know, where you really where you can see the stars in the sky. Because the deeper you go on Long Island, the prettier it gets when you look up into the sky. It's amazing. Anyway.
All right, hit 'em and quit 'em.
Is that me on the next one? Or?
Yes, that's you.
I don't see that story.
It's an intern.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I tell you, we need to.
That's Poppa DD. Go right ahead, Papa.
We need to get an intern in here.
He wants a personal secretary.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't gonna happen.
All right. Iowa Teachers Union School District sues the governor over school reopening. Okay. Here's another deal with that. The union. A union representative of the Iowa Public School Teachers and the Iowa City Community School District announced it will sue Governor. They're going to sue her personally. It will sue Governor Kim Rawlins, and she's a Republican, over the state's plan to reopen schools in the fall. Okay, school board members on Tuesday evening voted unanimously to join the Iowa State Education Association lawsuit, which is backed by the union, and said that it should be able to create personal local metrics and returning due to the person-to-person classes. They don't want that because they know that some of them kids aren't really safe and the parents aren't really wearing masks like they're supposed to, and all that jazz. So teachers are kind of looking out for themselves. The board voted to direct the interim. They have a acting superintendent right now, named Mac Dillon, to create his alternate plan in the event that they win the lawsuit. So they're going for a lawsuit right now between the Ohio School District and the governor himself. And the Republicans are just trying to tell people, open up. Mm-hmm. They're trying to, I think that they're, just to preempt this a little bit, anybody of a Republican nature Trump is trying to put things so-called back to normal. I mean, that just shows that his mind is sick right there. The man did not realize that 3.5 years have gone by already in his election. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you don't realize it's been tarnished with impeachment and all kind of jazz you've done, and then all your little cronies have been busted in the news and all that, Stone and all these other people, Flynn, all this stuff that took the news away from you from being a good president, and most of your presidency has been damage control. And all you've been doing is trying to, but now at the end of the game here, they're trying to put everything back to normal. And they're trying to, and the whole thing, too, with that post office situation. Woo, we're going to speak on that, too. That's, God, that's
another mess.
Woo, that's my people, too. Anyway, but the district in Iowa is, they're all fighting to get this situation over. That's another story we got to follow also, which leads into a long list of other states that are fighting against their communities or against their the management company of the state. What do you call that? The one that runs the county. Is that the county exec?
Oh, the county exec.
Yeah, they're fighting with the governor and the superintendent of the schools, and it's just so many entities and so many different people believe in different things. That is heavy because all that stuff is in levels. You got the mayor, you got the county exec, you got the mostly in suburban towns you got the county exec. They don't have that kind of stuff in the inner city. But you got your mayors and your county execs, your governors, your superintendent of the schools, then you got the people that run the money, the comptroller, it's just so many different entities that got their 2 cents in. I mean, it's just a mess, man. The world's a mess right now. It really is a mess.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mess. So we'll see what happens, because it's going to get ugly. September Pro, it just seems like every month going forward from now to the end of the year, it's going to be ugly. Schools in September, October with the new fiscal year and new money coming in. Trump's going to be holding back people's money for new money. This will be coming in. Then November with the holidays, November with the election, and then Christmas with the holidays and New Year's. And woo, Lord, I hope there's a world by January 4th.
I'll just be glad for 2020 to get on out of here. Because 2020 has been a humdinger.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the graduating class, though, because people that graduated in June, man, they left out of school around February or so, March, so they ain't really finished their year. Then they had to have a bogus graduation and all. That was just a mess. Anyway, we're going to get off script.
Okay. The legal ruling averts the Uber and Lyft shutdown in California. And this was an interesting one. A California court ruled yesterday that Uber and Lyft are not required to immediately reclassify their drivers as employees rather than independent contractors. And this struggle has been going on for a while. The decision allows the ride-hailing services to keep operating in the state of California after they threatened to pull out completely. Only hours before the ruling, Lyft had announced that it would halt the service in California as of a minute to midnight on last night. They said this change would also necessitate an overhaul of the entire business model and that it's not a switch you can just flip overnight. And this law was supposed to have taken effect January 1. So last week, a state judge ordered the companies to treat their drivers like full employees, as required under the law passed in California last year. But the transportation companies appealed the decision, arguing that the new law did not apply to them. So this struggle has been going back and forth. So the California court yesterday said that both companies are now saying that they're going to keep their labor costs down by categorizing their drivers as contractors, who, of course, don't get the same benefits as an employee would. So as a contractor, they got to be responsible for their own taxes and expenses, and they don't get sick leave or vacation time and all that. But what they do get to do is work their own schedule. They don't have to punch anybody's clock. They don't have to work any particular number of hours. They don't have to work at all if they don't want to. It's all their own choice. And that's what the two companies are saying, that they would rather just keep it that way. So the California officials are saying that treating the drivers as contractors also has broader costs, because if you're acting as a contractor, you're not contributing to the state's unemployment insurance. So there's two sides, of course, three sides to every coin if you count the edge. But the courts in the state is saying you're not contributing to unemployment, but if you end up unemployed and out of a job, you'll probably be trying to file for unemployment based on previous jobs that you had. But right now, you're not adding to the fund. And see, everybody who's an employee somewhere is contributing to the unemployment fund, via FICA. So that's why it's been such a battle. And what I didn't know is that California represents a substantial chunk of both companies' businesses, accounting for about 1/5 of all Lyft rides pre-pandemic and about 1/10 of Uber, all just in California. I never knew that. Did y'all know that?
Mm-mm.
Probably so, because both of them based out of San Francisco.
Oh, well, then that would explain it to a degree. But yeah, so, they had people freaking out, because when the word went out that if they can't come to an agreement and get this whole requirement put on hold, they're going to shut it down, and nobody that drives for Lyft and Uber in California would be able to drive past midnight as of last night. So people who depend on it for transportation and for employment were freaking out. They were like, well, what are we supposed to do now? But then, at the last minute, they were able to avoid that and get this whole thing, I guess, extended or put on hold or something. But they're going to have to resolve it one way or the other, because like I said, I can see the point. If you're not putting anything into the unemployment pot, that's an issue. But by the same token, if you make all 50, 60,000 drivers for these companies employees, now that's all that administrative stuff that has to be done. You got to pay all these people benefits and all of that goes into it. That's going to be a whole different thing. And I think it would also add a requirement for how many hours you have to drive in order to probably qualify as a driver. Because they're not going to pay all those benefits if you only drive 5 or 6 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to get out there and do the hustle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm off of that. Back to you, Ketel. What else you got?
All right. State files a joint lawsuit over changes to post office operations. Here we go. Trump bullshit. 6 states and the District of Columbia sued the Postal Service and the Postmaster General on Friday, alleging that recent operational and policy changes were illegal and designed to undermine the agency's ability to operate effectively, during this pandemic. It was announced as Postmaster General Louis DeJoy, I guess that's one of Trump's boys, testified before a Senate committee about the operation and integrity of the post office. He faced backlash over concerns that was cost-cutting measures were slowing the mail and could imperil the November election, of course. Mr. DeJoy had announced on Tuesday that the Postal Service would suspend operational changes until after the election. Yeah, okay. Sure. The complaint says that as undelivered mail and packages have piled up, dead animals and rotting food have been left inside mail processing plants. State pension checks in Delaware have been delayed, and medication deliveries in rural North Carolina have run 2 weeks late. Wow. In California, a 77-year-old woman with asthma complained of not receiving her inhaler for 3 weeks, when it usually would have been delivered in 3 to 5 days. So, you're messing up people's lives,
That's unacceptable.
It is. So it was the latest in a series of lawsuits that have included another one filed jointly by 14 states and others filed by the NAACP and the National Urban League. Yeah, this is a way to try to suppress the vote. That's what your boy is doing. So he figured he'd start early. So let's see what's gonna happen. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. He didn't quit it.
All right, back to you, Poppa DD. You got the last one.
Me again?
Yes,
yeah.
You again. You again.
You're overworking me here. All right, New York nurses say that used N95 masks are being repacked and boxed to look new. I knew that was coming eventually. Everybody's trying to get over in some way. The nurses working at a intensive care unit in New York hospital said they discovered that used N95 respiratory masks in a storage cabinet that had been made to look new and distributed to use by hospital officials. The ICU nurses sent a video to News 12 on Sunday showing dozens of N95 masks which have been protecting against COVID-19 hanging on a clothesline in a storage closet at the Vassar Brothers Medical Center in Poughkeepsie. Poughkeepsie is a little town down in New York when you're heading toward Albany. Anyway, I guess that's the distribution for that. They found the masks hanging on a clothesline, so they've been washing them, hanging them up, and reselling them out. Damn.
That is horrible.
These companies are off the chain. They really
What's the name of that company?
Vassar Brothers Medical Center.
Vassar, got it.
Yeah, let's look at them. And that's in Poughkeepsie, New York, which is, they call it upstate New York. Anyway, what's that?
That's my people. They have
Oh, you got people up in Poughkeepsie?
Poughkeepsie,
yeah, you used to go
Albany.
up there on the summertime. Yep, visit some cousins. Yep.
Metro North will take you up there by way of Graham Central Station.
Okay, stay focused.
I'm just trying to give you telling you where I used to roam before I settled down. Anyway, the nurses said that the nurse said the hospital was recycling the masks and boxing them up to make them appear new, something hospital administrators denied. Also, those masks were there to be packed away and saved. The VBMC president, a guy named Peter Kelly, told 12 News that adding that the VBMS and other hospitals around the country have saved masks to be sanitized and reused only if there's another national shortage. But they didn't expect the people they're buying it from to be doing that.
Exactly.
So, but as you said, they found lipstick and stuff on some of them. Sometimes you can see, if you look at the mask close, you can see. It's almost like when you're at a bar or somewhere, you hold it. That's why you always get a straw, especially champagne glasses. They got dry lipstick on them and stuff like that. And even some glasses at a bar would have lipstick stains and all that jazz. Shows they're not really washing them like they're supposed to. And so I recommend if you go out, always get a straw. Always drink the liquid inside the glass. Don't only put your lips on stuff that comes out of your own kitchen or either a paper cup or something, that's disposable. It comes out of a clean wrapper. Anyway, that's just me. But the nurses, speaking anonymously to News 12 for fear of retribution, they all said that they remain worried about their health and safety while they work in the ICU. And one nurse told News 12 she received a mask that was marked as new, but had makeup stains on it and things like that. They had little small hairs on it from men's mustaches in there and the whole nine. So it just goes
That's so disgusting.
on and on, on and on. So I don't know if they're trying to get stuff out, or they're trying to make money, or trying to be undercover. Because human remains is hard to get rid of. That's why I use Clorox bleach as opposed to off-brand bleach. Especially trying to get them doo-doo stains out of your drawers. You really.
Hey, you're gonna stop doing free commercials for companies.
You should use.
They're not advertising with us, so we're not doing Clorox.
I would use Clorox.
All right, Ketel, you ready for the cocktail of the week?
Yeah, we need something to freshen up here. We got a nice cocktail tonight. It's called the Kiwi Envy. It's a fruity gin cocktail. So for all you gin drinkers, listen up. 2 ounces of your favorite gin. Mine is Bombay Sapphire, the blue top. Also 3/4 ounces of elderflower liqueur. You can always find that. 1 kiwi peel, a 1/2 ounce of fresh lime juice, a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, sparkling water, and 1 kiwi slice for garnish. So we're going to add the kiwi fruit to a cocktail shaker and muddle. Add your gin of choice, elderflower liqueur, lime juice, and simple syrup. Top with ice and shake for about 10 seconds. All right. Strain into a tall cocktail glass filled with ice. And top with sparkling water and garnish with a kiwi slice. That's called the Kiwi Envy. It's a fruity gin cocktail. Enjoy.
All right. I like it. Kiwi Envy. I don't think I've ever had a cocktail with kiwi.
Yeah. Kiwi is a pretty good fruit.
Yeah, I like kiwi, but I never tried it in a cocktail. But I sure will now. Thank you, Ketel.
You will. You're welcome.
All right, let's go to Poppa DD and what's popping?
Well, I'll tell you what's popping tonight. I just think that after watching the Democratic convention there, they really should really beat the slop out of this guy. Hopefully, having I commend Biden for bringing in, Kamala, bringing in a true sister that's strong, and I just can't wait for her to spank Pence's ass when they come to the vice president debate. That's going to be cool as hell to watch. Also, just to focus on one of the reasons why they should get rid of Trump. Now, there's 6 people already that have been either indicted, put in jail, pardoned, or what have you. I'm going to run these names. I'm going to keep it short tonight. But just remember these names in Trump's history over the last 3 years, people he put into business here. You have Michael Cohen. Now, Michael Cohen was called his fixer. Every time Trump, got in trouble with somebody to sue him or whatever, Michael Cohen knew about everything. He knew about the tricks that Trump was laying with, you know what I mean? How many times he got his little weed whacked and whatever, his whole nine. Cohen knew the whole deal. So Trump had to turn on him just to kind of keep his own faith, keep his own. Then you had Paul Manafort. Pat Manafort used to be his former campaign chairman, the first one that was holding things down. He turned out to be a liar and a cheat, what have you. Then this other guy named Rick Gates. He was the deputy campaign manager. He was the chairman of all that. He ended up being crooked and crazy and doing all. Then you have Michael Flynn. Michael Flynn had just took a huge amount of money from different European nations for all kind of stuff that he was promising them from the United States, what have you. He ended up getting pardoned by Trump. He was guilty as sin. And then you had old boy Roger Stone with the round glasses, who's like a complete idiot, wearing his little tight shirts, look like a Jacques Cousteau mixed with Sherlock Holmes, wearing all his little casual stuff with his snow white hair. Oh, my God, this boy's a mess. You look at pictures of him when he was younger. He looked the same when he was younger, but he's got old looking crazy. And last but not least, Steve Bannon, who just got busted the other day for hanging out with his Chinese dude on a yacht, and they collecting $25 million for the Build a Wall campaign. So you got 6 people that was Trump's right-hand people. These jokers either are pending trial, have been indicted, been pardoned. What other person, Democratic, black, white woman, could get away with this? Bringing all these crooked people into the White House, and they all going out the back door just as fast as they came in the front door. So I'm trying to figure out why they need to beat oh my goodness, they need to beat the slop out of him in November, and just send this man back to Atlantic City to run some casinos again. He need to rebuild the Taj Mahal and collect them nickels and quarter slots and them penny slots and get back to what you do best, running casinos in Atlantic City. Because, boy, I just want to tell you, it's been a mess. It's been a complete mess. 3.5 years of madness. The stuff he's gotten away with. And all this stuff going on now, you're talking about conspiracy theories. I don't believe none of this stuff when it comes to the way he's talking about these different places, Chicago and all that. I think he's got cronies going in these inner cities and doing the shooting and all this jazz and then blaming people. And then when there's different protesters, I think that they're the ones burning down the buildings. Because they found, Molly cocktails. I ain't never seen people of inner city status be throwing no Molly cocktails or something. They just go ahead and bust the window. I mean, these are very unorthodox things. These are organized situations that are happening that aren't in common protesters' wheelhouses. That's just not what they do. All this fancy stuff, and then you had these undercover people in Portland that would just arresting people out of nowhere. Didn't identify who they were. They just was draped in fatigues and long rifles, and that Trump just sent down there as cronies, sent them to Chicago. I mean, what is going on? What is going on? I mean, it's amazing.
Nobody knows.
But November can change the whole story. They can send him out on a helicopter like they did Richard Nixon, throwing up peace signs. And so you got to do the same thing. Richard Nixon, when he got, resigned, he's about to get his ass impeached. He resigned just to save face, but last thing he did on that helicopter, threw up peace signs like he was going to, deuces, like he's going to make a great return. He was scandalous as hell. Anyway, that's all I got to say on that. Just get out there and vote, for real.
Ooh, that was good, Poppa DD. All right, Ketel, it's time to lighten it up.
If you got any comments out there, give us a call, 914-803-4306. If you're already listening, just press 1 to get in the queue. Give us your comment, Talk about it.
All right.
All right.
All
well,
right.
We're going to lighten it up. I'm ready. Ready. Go to the weird news.
All right.
I got to tell you this crazy story. We got one out of Germany. We got a university in Germany is offering idleness grants to Germans. So, Ketel, you can't get in on it because this is only for Germans. But they're giving idleness grants to Germans that are willing to abstain from activity as part of a research for an exhibition on sustainability. So the University of Fine Arts in Hamburg said 3 people will receive the grant for doing nothing, and they're going to get $1,900 to engage in a specific form of active inactivity. So they said that the applicants are free to choose their own form of idleness or whatever it is that they're not going to do. And the panel of school officials will choose the best 3 pitches. So you got to go and pitch to them, what is it that I want to not do to get this money? And I guess they'll observe you. So they're saying doing nothing is really easy, but, if you say you're not going to move for a week, then that's what you have to do. You have to be still. If you say I'm not going to talk on the phone, then that's what you would do. So they're saying that the money would be issued when the chosen applicants submit their experience reports in mid-January. And the idea of this is to explore the relationship between how society encourages sustainability and how society places value on material success. I don't really see what that has to do with doing nothing, but that's what they're saying. They're saying it's not a joke. It's an experiment with serious intentions. And they're saying basically they're trying to see how you can turn a structured society that's based on achievements and accomplishments on its head. I don't know. But they're going to pay people at $1,900, 3 people, $1,900 to be part of this. So who the heck knows?
Okay. Probably some teenagers.
I don't know. Well, before we go to your story, Poppa DD, we have a caller. So I'm going to go to the lines, and then we'll come back, okay, to Poppa DD's story. Caller, welcome to the Pajama Party Show. Go right ahead with your comment. Go right ahead, caller. Yes, that's you.
Okay,
go right ahead.
Okay. I was looking over CNN on my phone, and I saw an article about how Resident Dump has labeled Kamala Harris as a nasty person. I'd like for you all to talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, I saw that. But, this is not the first time that he's referred to a woman as a nasty woman. I think he had referred to Hillary Clinton before as a nasty woman, and I can't remember who the other one was. But, yeah, this is just another one of his tactics because I think he's not a very intelligent person. He doesn't have a good grasp of the English language, so that's the term that he uses to classify nasty. But I'm hoping that Kamala shows him what a nasty woman can really do. I feel nasty. Show him some nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty gets booted up out of the White House. See how nasty that is.
Amen. Thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you for your question. That's what I think about nasty. He really needs to get up off of that.
Don't even call him Miss Jackson, huh?
Nope. Nasty. That's right. Janet will tell you about nasty.
I know.
All right. Back, Poppa DD, what's the weird news story for tonight?
Well, this weird news here is not really weird. It's pretty interesting. In Tokyo, they have these transparent toilets that they're putting in the parks now. And transparent means that you can look in it from the outside. When it's the glass is kind of, it goes like, it lights up to allow you to see inside the bathroom. That way you can see whether or not anybody's in there and how clean it is at the same time. And then once you get in there, as soon as you lock the door and cut the light on inside, it builds a light fixture that kind of shelters you from being seen from the outside. So it's transparent from the outside, but it's
but when you go in,
when
like
you go
magic,
inside,
it
like
changes.
magic, the walls just kind of turn to the light. When you cut the light on, it kind of puts the person who built this is a world-renowned architecture who really done this thing. So it's very interesting. So I wouldn't really call this a weird news. It's very innovative news.
Would you trust it?
Yeah, trust it for what? You mean
for privacy? Would you trust that if I go in here and when I turn that light on, nobody will be able to see me?
Hey, look, when I got
outside.
Let me tell you, when nature calls, I don't give a damn. That's just going to be a 2-minute. I mean, I piss
well,
on the side
as soon
of
as you
the wall.
close it, it's supposed to go. It's supposed to go frosted.
Mhm.
Yeah, as soon as you close the door, it's supposed to be frosted.
But my question is, would you trust it though?
Trust it.
Would you trust that frost is going?
That the frost?
Nope.
I'm a little bit of exhibitionist, so it don't matter to me. I'm posing till closing, so it don't matter to me. I mean, I've gotten mad at a building. I've gotten mad at a building that they wouldn't let me use the bathroom. I go around the back and piss on the back of the wall. So what does it matter?
Okay.
Anyway,
well, I'm not trusting that
watch Poppa DDs of the world.
Yeah, this is very interesting though. This looks like it's a very innovative thing.
Yeah, it does sound innovative, but I mean, I still kind of wonder why. But okay. Moving on.
I got the last one here. It's a drive-through haunted house offers socially distant scares. Okay, it's a living nightmare. This is in Tokyo. Okay, so it's a living nightmare, but a socially distant one. Zombies attack vehicles, smearing them with artificial blood, but the customers inside the cars are safely separated from their stalkers by the windows.
Wow.
They roughly, it's a production company, Kowalski, roughly translated as Scare Squad, has launched a drive-through haunted house in Tokyo in response to the coronavirus pandemic. He goes on to say, we have started this drive-in because we cannot get close to the customers at a traditional haunted house because of the virus. But the distance between customers and cast has actually gotten shorter since there's only a window between them. Unlike a traditional haunted house where guests can, flee if frightened, customers are confined to their cars and cannot escape the horrors during the 13-minute performance. With no actual contact between the audience and the performance, the risk of transmitting the virus is virtually eliminated. Okay. Once the horror is over, instead of eating brains, these helpful zombies actually clean the blood off the cars they attacked just minutes earlier. All righty.
They clean the stuff up. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's 13 minutes? You said that this whole thing is 13 minutes?
13 minutes of horror. But they can't get into the car, so that's the social distancing technique. Wow.
Yeah, I would still pass on that. I don't do zombies and all that stuff. I think for me, that 13 minutes would feel like an hour of having these people moaning and groaning and throwing fake blood on my car. I think I'd be not happy.
Yeah, I've seen. That's why they clean it off at the end. So who knows? Maybe you go through a car wash or something at the end. Who the hell knows?
Okay. I don't know. Poppa DD, would you ride through there?
Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out. No big deal.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so you want to take a break or you want to?
No, let's keep it rolling. I'm ready.
All right, we're going to come up with the Redwine, what I'm just saying. Go ahead, you're on.
Okay. I'm just saying, be careful how you choose. That's my topic tonight. Be careful how you choose. Now, of course, everybody knows the presidential election is just a little over 70 days away. And I just want everybody to exercise their civic rights and duties and get out and vote. Even though there's a lot of smoke screens being thrown to muddle the situation, it's more important than ever that everybody's voice is heard and every vote is counted. But I'm just saying, be careful how you choose. Now, I know a woman who voted for a candidate the last time around simply because this candidate said he was anti-abortion. She's anti-abortion, so she voted for him. Now, she totally disregarded all the other things that this candidate said and did. We cannot afford to be that single-minded on any one topic. We got to look beyond the campaign promises and see these candidates for who they really are. Talk is cheap. You know, that's why everybody does it so freely. But don't allow yourself to get backed into a corner based on a platform promise. I'm just saying, you got to be careful how you choose. Don't just go based on, well, this person said that they're pro-life, so I'm going with him. Disregard everything else they say, or they say, I'm for immigration policy, so I'm going to go with them. Don't just ignore everything. You got to look at the whole picture. Now, the last time people fell for the okie doke, look what we got. We got an inexperienced, narcissistic egomaniac who is so totally self-unaware that it makes my head spin. But this is the result of people getting caught up in the hype. They all thought it would be fun. It'd be a fun ride to have somebody who has no filter and says whatever comes to mind. They thought that was going to be fun. Now these people are yelling, let me off of this ride. We are the people that hold the future. And it's here's the thing. If you're not comfortable voting by mail, thanks to the scheme that's been played out to discredit our confidence in the U.S. Postal Service, we're going to have to soldier it out, stand in a long line, protect yourself, wear your mask, wear your face shield, do whatever you got to do. But it's that critical and it's that important. Bring a folding chair if you have to, but we have got to get out and vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm just telling you that this country is at a critical point, and we collectively need to decide if we want to leave it in the hands of that bully that currently resides in the people's house, or do we take a chance and do something different? I'm just saying, be careful how you choose. But I can tell you this. You cannot and should not run the country via social media. That's one thing I do know. Be a grown-up and handle the situations face-to-face, or at a minimum, make a phone call and handle your business. I don't know about you, but I know I've had enough of waking up every day to hear new foolishness. I feel like I'm on one of those, you remember those carnival fun houses where the building and the walls are shifting and you get all banged up and bruised up trying to get out? I want to get out. This is Redwine, and I'm just saying, be careful how you choose, because we will be stuck with the choice we make for the next 4 years. And that ain't no joke.
All right. That was a good one, Redwine.
We got to do what we got to do. Ray Charles said, make it do what it do, baby. Yeah.
All right. Make it do what it do. All right.
All right. Well, I tell you what. I'm gonna tell you who to vote for real. You know.
See, I try to be politically correct.
Not him. But you know, let me. I'm going into the segment of Living for the City, and we're gonna just roll right in here and keep that same theme going on now. And let me give you my point of view on this for real, okay? Like I mentioned before, I mentioned 6 guys. I'll say their names again. It was Michael Cohen, who's now in jail for lying to the government for whatever he did. You got Paul Manafort. You got Richard Gates. You got Michael Flynn. You got Roger Stone, and you got Steve Bannon. 6 crooked asses that have been following Trump since the beginning, and now all of them is either indicted, they done gave him a pass as far as pardoning him and all kind of stuff. But these are crooked people that came in with him. But now you're messing on something that's really interesting. First of all, Trump puts his 2 cents in everything that goes down. When he took a knee for the NFL, Kaepernick was merely talking about the different abuse that the police is doing, the unjust and everything. He gonna turn to the fact that you're being non-American and all that jazz, and that you're not this, you're not that. Always flipping the script, changing the narrative, making his base, and his base is getting thinner and thinner every day. You know, his base is turned into a bunch of little poor white trashes up there that they don't have nothing in common with his rich ass, but he makes sure he keeps pumping them with all his knowledge and all his flavors to keep them inflated like a damn helium balloon so they can keep rising for him. Now, one thing he's messing with right now, which is really crazy, is the post office, okay? Now, I'm an ex-military guy, Navy in particular, that been out to sea, that been to Europe. In fact, in the Navy, my job was postal clerk. So the post office is my wheelhouse, okay? That was my spot. That's where I worked at. That's what I did. That's my knowledge. That's my background. You're messing with an entity that serves everybody everywhere. You got military guys. People still write letters when you're at sea. People write letters when you're incarcerated. You know, this is not just about your ballots that you're so worried about that you're going to go in and muff up the whole post office system because you're worried about some damn ballots getting out that may have Biden's name on them. So you're going to just flip the script. You're going to bring some donor in who says what kind of experience he has as a damn postmaster general any damn way. Did we vet his ass? Did we even look at his fucking resume to see where he came from? Who knows what he did, who he is, where he came from, whatever. He done took away the sorting machines. He done got rid of all the temporary help. And here's the kicker of it all. Have you heard your boy from Amazon speak on the situation? No, he's staying quiet. But any package you get from Amazon that's real small, the post office usually takes that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't come by way of their drop-off point. They let the post office contract little small stuff out that it fit in your mailbox or the post card, and it works together. But I haven't heard from, what's the guy's name that runs Amazon?
Jeff Bezos.
I haven't heard Jeff Bezos say anything about this whole situation with the post office messing up his stuff, but his stuff's getting delayed too, which go to show you the people that's in bed with each other, you know, the billionaires, they're going to rile the billionaires because they don't know what to say or how to handle it or the repercussions of ratting on another billionaire, you know. And all this stuff that is going on with everything. But getting back to the mail situation, you have FPOs for the Navy, you have APOs for the Army, you have letters that are going out to sailors that are off in Afghanistan, that are way out in Beijing, all over the place. Akusa, Japan, a place that I was stationed in temporary for a while. Akusa, Japan, where they had a little small post office where I went temporarily. People are getting mail everywhere. And then what about the neighborhoods? I saw them putting mailboxes on the back of a truck, wheeling those out. I mean, damn, are you that desperate? What about the senior citizens that still write checks out and put a little stamp in the corner of the envelope and they get their little exercise of the day, walk into the mailbox to drop their little letters in the mailbox? They got the gas bill, the electric bill, the water bill, and they walk into the post office. Been doing it for years. And because your ass is so damn paranoid you're going to lose an election, you're going to just fuck up the whole world procedure to be convenient to you. Now, this is the selfishness that I want people to look at. It ain't about the person. It's about your actions. Your shit stinks out loud, my brother. If this was a friend, you would drop him like a hot potato. It's not so much the political aspect, but why aren't you worrying about things that are major? You know, when I went to school, there was major powers out there. There was Japan. I mean, there was not Japan. There was China, Russia, and America. They were the ones that held the mighty nuclear weapon that could destroy each other. Hell, he's in bed with Russia, licking Putin's ass every day. Now, you behind enemy lines with Putin. What if Putin decide he want to take us over? Would he have a problem? No, because he already got probably naked pictures of Trump in pantyhose or whatever. They got Trump all up against the wall on stuff. So you all in bed with Putin. You got the post office all flipped out. You done destroyed the NFL by hijacking that situation with Kaepernick. You get your business in every little thing that goes on. Anything that's a small, minute situation that comes on the news, Trump is tweeting about it. Damn. You got to pay attention to every little damn thing that goes on in the world. Won't you pay attention to more major shit that's going to protect our ass? You are the commander-in-chief that controls the military. Won't you watch the big story instead of watching a mom and papa joint? You know, all I'm saying is that this man is you done call people stuff, you done talked about handicapped people, you done mock people, you done did all kind of stuff. Do y'all want a crazy joker like that to keep on running this country? And I ain't got to say his name. Let's just go on his actions. Like Martin Luther King said a long time ago, you know, not the color of my skin, but the contents of my character. This man ain't got no character. He ain't got nothing. Monkey see, monkey do, hiding behind a bunch of criminals. Not to mention his son-in-law that's married to his daughter. He's a big crooked dude. He's got all kind of buildings and slumlord and all kind. I can go on and on and on, but time won't even permit it. Use your best judgment. Just use your best. And we talking about this early. This is mid-August going into September. Time is flying. You know what I mean? It ain't about nobody telling you what to do or how to do it, but just look at what the last 4 years have brung. Impeachment, stuff backed up. He destroyed the whole pandemic thing. You got the place where the pandemic first came from, they already celebrating because they're free from it. America, we still in the middle of it. We still tripping off of it because the president done mopped it up, muffed it all up. So, like I said, take heed to it. Take heed to it. Be smart. Be smart. They need to slaughter that guy. He needs to lose by a landslide. Anyway, that's all I got to say on that.
All right. See you on that one.
All right, that was a good one.
Ooh, Poppa coming hard. Both barrels.
Mike, boom.
You need to look at the reality of what's happening. Stop looking at the politics and all the muffin going on. And Pence was on the other day on CBS getting interviewed.
That was a mess.
He was a mess.
Wind up
they asked him a direct question, and he just danced like Fred Astaire. I was like, Lord have mercy.
And not even in rhythm. Let's go to the phone line. And then, Ketel, we're coming back to you, right, for the Hollywood wrap-up after that.
We can take a break after that.
Okay, well, we'll go to the phone lines first. Caller, welcome to the Pajama Party Show. You're live on the air. Go right ahead with your comment.
Thank you. I have a two-part statement. One that Poppa DD was talking about with the post office issue. That forget his name. He wasn't vetted. He was just selected by Trump, by the White House to go in, and we know what that was all about. We know that was about to hinder the election. So he was in.
Right.
He was at Congress today. He got they had a what you call it with Congress today, and he would not. They asked him all kind of questions, and he would not tell them that he would stop everything from happening. It was like he never said I would not do anything. This is a plan, and we all know that. We know it's a plan. To obstruct the election. And the second part with Dumbo 45, everything that he touched turns to shit. Excuse my language. Okay?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Like Poppa DD said, all his cronies had gone to prison or jail or whatever the case may be. He's in it. Mm-hmm.
Up to his neck.
Now he plays like he got amnesia. He doesn't know anything. But his son and a lot of his friends had taken photos with the person that was doing that build a wall.
Yeah.
They're all in pictures together. They all in pictures. And then this guy, I think the guy that is actually the head of this thing, he's a former Navy officer. Yes.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's really sad. So like Redwine said, I'm gonna put it to you straight. Get your black asses out there and vote. Stop complaining.
All right.
There you go.
That's all I gotta say.
You're right. Thank you, Cole.
We're gonna be back in South Carolina, North Carolina, picking cotton.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
He get 4 more years in there. It's gonna be rough. I'm telling you. It's gonna be rough.
Yeah. If we don't do what we got to do to get him out, the next 4 years are going to be off the chain.
They're going to be rough because that president job is a very powerful position. You pull the strings. That's why they can't mess with him because, he's walking around with a nuclear codes in a briefcase. Not for us more or less. But he's got the power, and you got to stop it. But right now he is so confused. I just wish I'm just so sad that people like Marvin Gaye and Gil Scott-Heron aren't around to sing about it or make songs about it. The way Gil Scott-Heron sung about, Watergate Blues, and the way Marvin Gaye sang about what's going on. Those two brothers, God rest both their souls, they used to put it out there strong. Gil Scott-Heron and Marvin Gaye, God bless their spirit, because they would have been on point right now.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, caller, what's your comment?
Yeah, thanks for the call.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
completely agree. We have got to get out there and vote. If you're not registered, please do so if it's not too late. I don't know if it is, but if it isn't, please do so. So we're going to take a quick break, Ketel, and then we're coming back with the Hollywood wrap-up.
Sounds good.
All right? Okay, let's do that, and we're coming right back after the break.
It's the Friday night adult talk show, The Pajama Party, on Blog Talk Radio, produced by DC Homegrown Entertainment. Visit us online at www.apajamaparty.com. Click the banner and you can join us online, or call us right now at 914-803-4306. The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the Pajama Party crew and you. So pick up the phone and call us now, 914-803-4306, and tell us what's on your mind. There's a big fluffy pillow reserved up front just for you at the Pajama Party. And remember, it's PJs only, no clothes allowed. Pass it on. Now let's get back to the Pajama Party crew and more of the Pajama Party. That better not be my robe.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. Woo,
All right.
Time for Ketel in the Hollywood wrap-up.
Yeah, what's going on in Hollywood?
I don't get my introduction, Papa?
Go ahead with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was weird, but okay, we'll move on. Hollywood.
Okay, you putting the weird news on me? What's up?
Yeah.
That was for Poppa DD.
No, but see, wait a minute. What is, you clicking the wrong button? You gonna blame it on me?
Yep. Your fault.
Redwine, I tell
all right.
you what.
I got two top stories for you today. Lori Loughlin and her husband. She tearfully admits she made quote unquote awful decisions. And she's sentenced to 2 months in prison, and her husband is sentenced to 5 months in prison. Also, they have to pay $500,000 fine, and $250,000 fine, 250 hours of community service, and that's it. That's going to be into that. She goes on to say, Loughlin taking pause as she spoke to fight back emotions, ended by saying she believes in redemption and will do everything in her power to redeem myself and to give back the rest of my life. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Of course, they'll probably end up bouncing back and write a movie and some more stuff. But like I said, we'll see. Yeah.
Okay.
Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, they're selling their 7-bedroom Beverly Hills mansion. It was previously owned by Rihanna, but they bought it back in 2015, and they want to sell it for $24 million. They bought it at $14 million in 2015 by Rihanna. So, since Chrissy Teigen is pregnant again, the 8,500 square foot house has to be sold. They got a.
Why? It's not big enough?
No, they have 3 children. It's a Florida window.
Wait a minute.
They got a
Do you know how
room.
big?
They got a parlor, entry, 33-foot ceilings, a heated salt water pool, and jacuzzi. Hey, won't I go for it? $24 million.
And that's not enough. That's not enough room.
That's not enough room. They got a third edition.
I got 8 brothers and sisters. We ain't have half of that space. Anyway. Go ahead.
Well,
wait a minute. You said this thing is 8,500 square feet.
8,500.
Yep. Got a jacuzzi, saltwater pool, got a media room, and so on and so on. Hey. Yep. That's not enough.
So what they gonna do? Go buy an island?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
You need an island to raise 3 children? Lord have mercy.
There you go.
Okay. Okay.
Unfortunately, Trey Songz denies allegations of sexual misconduct and intimidation. He says, believe what you want to believe. He has denied recent sexual misconduct allegations against him. I haven't heard from him in a while. So some girl, Eliza, she said that he urinated on her without her permission. And she then continued on to say that Song already got mad at me for talking about him, but she said, I don't give a F. So maybe it was just a brief encounter with somebody he just met. I'm not sure, but she claimed that he sexually assaulted her, so we're going to see what's going to happen with that story.
All the coochie in the world.
Good.
Lord have mercy.
He said, believe what you want to believe, he said, but he put out a tweet. He said, I usually stay quiet on this, but I feel that in many ways the movement to fight for the woman who actually have suffered harassment and abuse on various levels has been hijacked by those who find it convenient for themselves to come up as they seek to destroy someone's life. End quote. All right, that was Trey Songz. That's what he said.
Okay.
So, can't believe everything people put out there. I agree with him on that. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is getting a reboot. The new show will be based on Morgan Cooper's viral reimagining of the series in a partnership with Will Smith's Overbrook Entertainment. So in March 2019, this filmmaker and fan of the original show, he created a gritty trailer for Bel-Air dramatic series following an update version of Will's iconic character. The clip became a viral sensation shortly after this release, thanks to its believable cast and stunning cinematography. I saw the trailer.
That trailer was good. I saw it.
It was. The guy Cooper will co-write the script, direct, and co-executive produce Bel-Air. Chris Collins, who worked on The Wire, Crash, and Sons of Anarchy, will be the showrunner. Some of the producers behind the Fresh Air Bel-Air include Will Smith, Quincy Jones, and many more. The series is expected to include winks to the original show's material while offering a deeper look into the experience of being yanked out of your environment and placed into a different community. So that should be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, the real life of Bel-Air. Yeah.
I'm here for it.
I think it was an original concept. The concept was great. And also, last but not least, Jill Scott, to bring Mahalia Jackson's story to the life in a biopic. The producers are Jamie Foxx and Queen Latifah, are part of the team producing the important film. So the news broke that Scott will also bring Jackson's story to the big screen of Mahalia. A new biopic executive produced by Jamie Foxx and Queen Latifah and her partner, Shakim Kampier, along with the Clark sisters, executive producer Holly Carter. So that should be interesting to check out.
Yeah, that's a good story. Yeah. She was a firecracker, I heard.
And that one on the Clark sisters was really good.
No, I mean, but Mahalia Jackson, as opposed to being a singer, she was heavy into the civil rights. They had to calm her down. That's how deep she was.
Oh, anyway.
I see. It says her story being brought to the mainstream, people will finally gain a deeper understanding of Jackson's iconic status and her role in the civil rights movement. What you just said, Papa. Yep. Okay. Because I think she was deep. I think she was the person instrumental in telling Martin Luther King to read his speech. I have a dream, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, she was strong.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. She was the one that kept saying, "Tell them about the dream, Martin." That was her.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna be checking those out. That's my Hollywood wrap up.
Right. And just as FYI on what you were saying with Will Smith, that Overbrook production, that's a high school in Philadelphia. My mother went to that high school back when it was first built, and Will Smith went to that high school as well, Overbrook High School.
Oh, okay.
That's where
the background
Overbrook came from.
His production.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, that's his high school.
All right.
That was a good one, Ketel. That was very informative. All right, Poppa DD. Tell everybody, what is the world-famous Kiss It list?
All right, the Kiss It list is the list we put together of everybody who showed their butt hiney over the past couple weeks or whatever, and we got 6. I'm gonna throw out 6 names right away. It's going on the Kiss list, and we have a song for them at the end of the assignment of the Kiss list in their honor. We're gonna put down there Michael Cohen, Paul Manafort, Rick Gates, Michael Flynn, Roger Stone, and Steve Bannon.
Absolutely.
And we can throw the vice president. What's the vice president's name?
Pence.
Pence put
Mike
his ass because he was dancing like Fred Astaire on that review.
Yeah.
They had some questions about the post office thing, and he started dancing like a, oh my goodness.
Don't forget 45.
And 45, you're the ringleader. Yeah, he's running all that crap.
And I'm adding Julia Louis-Dreyfus for that horrible job.
Why they have her on it? I think she was on a Republican convention a few years ago. So what is she flipping the script or what? What's up with that?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Also, Louis DeJoy, the U.S. Postmaster, he's full of crap.
Yeah. Mhm. And your boy from Amazon.
Oh, Jeff Bezos.
But he's not speaking on this whole post office thing, and half his business goes through the post office. When the packages are too small to be delivered by his people, he turns it over contracting to the post office. And why hasn't he said anything with all this? Because it's messed up his business. Unless he's making too much money, he ain't got to speak on it. But anyway.
Well, there you go. You answered that question. Also, the 2 neighbors that are harassing that one neighbor.
In Long Island?
Yeah, Mindy and John.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Also, we got Vassar Brothers Medical Center for reusing those N95 masks and repackaging them and trying to sell them again like they were new.
And they had lipstick on them and makeup and
yeah, that's some crap right there.
Pubic hairs and whatever.
Yep. Lori Lofton and her husband, but ducking their penalty for so long.
Well, with Lori Lofton's situation, you gotta have a daughter that's intelligent enough to go along with the scheme. She was just a little bumbling little idiot in my opinion. She fucked up the whole move.
She did everything but say, it wasn't me, it was them.
That's why they got busted, because she was like, I don't even want to go to college.
I don't know how to play. What would she say? I don't roll.
She said, I don't even want to go to college. I just want to play on the internet. That's how she got busted. The daughter was an idiot. Anyway.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Anyway.
I think that's everybody for this week.
Yeah, Redwine and Ketel put them on there.
Don't even try.
Anyway.
All right, we have a gift for everybody, an award for everybody on this week's Kiss It List, and here it is.
Kiss my entire ass. Kiss my Irish ass. You better kiss my Irish ass. This world, kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. You can just kiss my ass. Baby, you can just kiss my ass. Oh. You can kiss my country ass. I said if you got a problem with any of that, you can kiss my natural born redneck to the bone, ever-loving country ass. That's right.
All right, that's this week's Kiss It List, and may they all bask into the crap that they created. Back with the Pajama Party, I'm Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
Redwine.
Bonsoir, my darling.
All right.
It's time for the last word. Poppa DD, what's your last word?
My last word is to definitely take heed to what I said and all the reasons why I said it. I'm not just talking political here. I'm talking about getting that idiot up out of there before we get destroyed. You remember, Russia is a superpower enemy of ours. They're not anybody to be toying with. I saw on the news where they were poisoning different people that denounced Putin. People they gave one guy some tea on the plane. He was hacking, and I think he's living, but he's all in a coma and everything else. And then they kill different people. You say something about Putin, boy, they're going, you know what I mean?
And now the doctors are saying, well, it wasn't poison. And I'm like, okay,
yeah, because the doctor don't want to get
y'all all
fucked
work for Putin.
But anyway, but all I'm saying is that you're in bed with the wrong people. And now you're desperate with the post. You're desperate. He is so desperate right now. Don't fall for the okie doke. This man around is running scared because he can't believe 4 years went by so goddamn fast. He's freaked out saying, "Oh, damn, we're not even ready." I mean, Melania just, what's his wife's name? She just decided to stay at the White House. Remember, she was still fucking around Amtrak, catching the damn train, going down there to stay in New York.
I don't think she ever really moved
She's
in.
like, I ain't leaving this damn, anyway, but,
She said New York is where I'd rather stay.
But anyway, he's caught between Florida and New York. New York done put a Black Lives Matter in front of his building, and he's run down to New York with the senior citizens. He don't want to be in, he's between a rock and a hard place right now, and it's just a mess. But I have no sympathy for his ass. So all I'm saying is make good choices, and be safe, everybody. Wear your mask and stay social distance. And if you don't like somebody, pull your mask up under your nose. That's what I do nowadays. I see a motherfucker come out like I just pull my mask up. Hey, my man, and whip it up. Anyway. What you got?
What's your last word, Redwine?
Oh, boy. My last word is choose carefully. Like I said before, don't choose who you're going to vote for based on one thing. You need to look at the whole picture. That's all I'm saying. When you buy a loaf of bread, you don't buy a loaf of bread just to take one slice out and throw away the rest. You buy the whole loaf. So when you make your decision to vote, you're buying the whole loaf. So consider that.
Right.
Don't just look at that one slice in the front and don't pay attention to the rest. So just be choosy. Be choosy, but be careful. And get out and vote. It's important.
All right.
The soul of the nation depends on us. Don't let it down.
All right.
What's your last word, Ketel?
That's a good segue to my last word. I just wanted to talk to the young folks. Y'all need to get out there and vote. This y'all first time voting. Go ask somebody that's older and can school you on how to vote. But these older people need to educate the young folks why they should vote and the things that we've gone through for them to vote. So if you 18, 19 years old, I got one 19, he may not understand what the importance is to vote. It is very important. And I need to school. I need to do my part, and everybody else that has teenagers, they need to do their part too. Do your research. Research your candidates that you're interested in. Not what people are just saying. Everybody is saying. Just do your own research, and vote. And one last note, I want to say rest in peace. I laid my brother to rest last weekend. That's why we weren't here live. So rest in peace, and just rest in peace, my brother. All right, my last word.
Service was real beautiful. That service was real beautiful. It enlightened me, and I had a wonderful time being a part of that.
Yes, definitely. Rest in peace, my brother. We miss you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh.
All right. Well, if all hearts and minds are clear, we're going to dismiss. Oh, I'm Carrie. Say dismiss the church. We're going to dismiss and say good night to everybody. Thanks to everybody that hung out with us tonight and called in or listened. We appreciate your participation. Just make sure you participate in November. Get out and vote.
Right.
Please don't feel like your vote won't matter. It does matter. So
we're here every Friday night at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock is the scheduled time.
Shout out to our parent company that sponsors us, keeps us on the air, DC Homegrown Entertainment. Thank you, DC.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And you may hear stuff from us you may not hear on any other wavelength out there. So tune in, because we're always searching for the meat of the stuff, and this is uncensored. Whatever we say here stays here, and we're all under aliases, so we say we want to say,
We give it to you straight, no chaser.
That's right. Right.
We ain't never scared.
No rules. Come in butt naked. We don't care. No
DJs
rules.
only.
No rules.
All right. Well, we're going to get on out of here. And we'll do it again next Friday night. Be here. We'll be here. Y'all join us. Say good night, Papa.
Good night, everybody.
Say good night, Ketel.
Good night.
And this is Redwine saying bonsoir. Arrivederci. See you next time. Peace.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so. I bid you farewell, arrivederci, sayonara, and all that sort of cheers. Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well, good night.
Yabiko, Sana.
I regret to announce this is the end. I'm going now.
Good night, and good luck.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Now give me a kiss and say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for attending our show, and good night.
Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. It's summer party. Grown and sexy, join the party. Good summer party. Party crew.